Uh-oh. Here comes the
So
big
one, I
stuff.
want you to stop jab down smashing.
Yeah, me too.
That's just like a habit you have that like if you just put like a little bit of effort in, you'll fix it.
Bad player habits.
Okay, so consistently when I've watched you, I think your recovery has been not the best.
Okay.
I think it's getting better, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But what often happens is it gets better, but then you do something bad on the ledge and get hit back off, and then do a bad recovery.
Okay. Interesting.
So like this whole sequence. So first of all, instead of double jumping here, you could have just fallen to the ledge probably.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
And then when you up B down, which was really good, and you wouldn't have done it a long time ago. But then you messed up getting off the ledge. But then you freaked out and kind of upbeat super high, which wasn't bad, but like it wasn't amazing either,
Okay.
Like you still had your double jump to work with.
Yeah.
So like you had a little bit to play with the mixes. Do you see what I mean?
I did have my double jump there. Yeah.
Yep. So just remembering things like that. I was really happy you upbeat down though, because like 2 months ago you wouldn't have upbeat down.
Oh yeah.
So I just want you to
Yeah,
kind
I
of keep
watched
that in mind.
Yeah, okay. So I'll write down do some ledge stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have just like but this is why watching VODs is useful, because let's say you're watching VODs for the purpose of figuring out solutions, like we talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
While you're watching the VOD, you will surely happen across some sheiks recovering, and you can just notice it while you're watching the VOD for other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't something you even have to work on very explicitly. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, and I very recently I started using my double jump much closer to ledge because
Nice.
I saw it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all you have to do. I'm not even telling you to do anything crazy. It's just make sure to study your VODs, and while you're doing it, pay attention to some recovery things.
Okay.
And if it helps at all, maybe spend like 5 minutes practicing using your double jump and up B around the ledge. Like Swedish used to be really bad at control. So like when you up B with SHEIK, you can start drifting. Like how you can control where she drifts on the first half of her up?
Yeah.
She can do that like almost instantly. It's like literally up to your finger speed.
Yeah.
So like a lot of sheiks, you'll see they'll up B and they don't drift at all until like right at the end of it. But a lot of the times I'm like, oh, if you drifted better, you could have grabbed the edge before they did.
Yeah.
And then the other part of that is sometimes you can like fast fall or drift and fast fall before you even up B, keeping in mind that you can control your up B. So like sometimes I'll be kind of far from the ledge, and a worse sheik player will be like, oh, I'm kind of far. So they'll just fall slowly, drift closer to the edge, and then up B straight up. But what I would do is fast fall and then up B at the frame perfect time to where I barely snap to the edge when I drift to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's always a really good option, is using
it's just like a strictly faster way of getting there, right?
Right.
So like maybe playing around with the execution of it. And also like even if you can't ledge dash perfectly, like I want to see your ledge game be better, because like so often you either choose a bad option or mess up execution when you're on the ledge.
Yeah, it's there. It's definitely better. I can say to your face, like, I practiced it a lot, and it's
I know you practiced it, which is why. Do you think you mess it up more in matches?
Probably.
I guess like that would be another thing where maybe you could spend a 20 minutes of your friendlies and not much more, where every single game I want you to just pay attention to what happens when you grab the ledge,
Yeah.
And just make sure you're doing what you want to cleanly. And I think even just spending that a little bit of extra effort, you might realize, oh, I was actually messing it up because I wasn't paying attention at all. So now I'll pay attention, fix it, and then I can go back to playing normal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's I've generally found that like when I do something on the ledge, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Like that's what it feels like, because I know you practice and I've seen you do it well. So I kind of feel like you're just paying attention to other things.
Yeah, even when I get like a really clean ledge dash into anything, so like a lot of the time I just don't not paying attention, and I don't do the right thing because of that. So I think that's a good idea too.
Work on maybe when you're practicing ledge game, practice like actively focusing your brain. Like don't just do it on autopilot. Say, okay, I grabbed the edge at this timing. I did the up B stall. I'm gonna ledge dash and I'm gonna pay attention.
Yeah, that's sort of the next step after building the muscle memory, right?
Yeah. So do that and then go into some friendlies and actively focus, and I think it'll just fix itself.
Okay.
Cool. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Totally.
Cool. Let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like that you jumped up to Nair when he was on the platform.
Let's see it again.
Yeah. Of course.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know what that would have beat.
So just fundamentally, can you explain to me like why it's not a good Nair?
It's early, which means that I just throw it out. He was standing still, so he kind of has the ability to just respond to the fact that I'm now in the air in a hit in a move.
But that's not inherently the biggest problem.
It's not. Oh, okay.
Because like you could do that and it could still be safe and it could still cover an option.
True.
But just like in terms of the positioning and how well it's likely to interact. So it's like you're fighting Falco, he's above you. You jumped up to Nair. What's probably going to happen?
Yeah, I think in general, it's the positioning of it. It wasn't safe, and it was more likely that an interaction would turn out in his favor.
But why is that? Like, what about it? You know?
Well, it lasts a long time and leaves me. No, not it. Okay.
Well, again. What really matters is the character you're fighting. Like, right? You always have to think from the opponent's perspective. So, like, what are Falco's tools in that situation when he's above you?
I'm thinking dare or nair.
Yeah, so let's say dare, right? Like you're below him, he's probably going to down air. So Falco's above you down airing, and you jump into him with an air. What's going to happen?
I'm going to lose. It doesn't.
Yeah, just like 99 times out of 100, the dare is just going to beat you, right?
Yeah, it doesn't threaten his hitbox at all.
Yeah, exactly. So like all you have to say is like on a fundamental level, if you're below a Falco and you jump into him in nair, that's just a bad look.
Right.
So the only time it would be good would be if you had enough of a frame advantage that your nair would like stuff his startup because the jump nair is pretty fast.
Right. I think that's what I wanted to predict, but I think I might have lost.
Like you were trying to, yeah. But if you look at the timing, you had just whiffed a fair, so it was unreasonable for you to think you had some sort of advantage unless you saw him doing something.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, instead, if after that fair you just did like a dash dance, he would have whipped the down air and you could have punished, you know? Does that make sense?
It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like I'm screening him, but I never had a reason to do it that way, and I'm just doing it because I'm afraid. Yeah.
But purely from a positional perspective,
it
makes sense that you should jump and try to nair him, right?
Right. Yes.
And I know you get that, but that's why I want you to put it into words and realize, like, that's by far the most important reason, you know?
Yeah, hold on. Writing it down. Okay.
Cool. So let's watch this. So I want you to look at this recovery real quick. So, in my opinion, you could have seen him drop down for the shine, reacted to that, and then chosen to go to the ledge instead.
Oh, okay. Play it one more time. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. It's like just now, if he had shined a little higher up, he could have tricked you by shine, double jump up being, and then like grabbing his up B. Right. But given that he dropped so low, I think there was no way he was going to get there before you.
Yeah, I would agree.
Cool.
That's so interesting.
So, you know, just that's like an example of a recovery improvement.
Yeah, so instead of going up, I could have just gone down a little bit, or even tried to do the snap.
Yeah, you would have snapped to edge, down and forward.
Yeah.
Yep, and then you'd be in a good position.
Oh, interesting.
So, you know, little things like that matter a lot, because, like, if you're playing someone good and you give them the hit for free, they're going to fuck you up.
Yeah. More often than not, you do.
And then here, when you shield dropped, you probably should have fared during the shield drop. Does that make sense? Because you kind of there's no cost to fairing because it's gonna auto cancel anyway.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, I
nair
agree.
was cool. Unfortunately, he slid off, and maybe you weren't aware of it. Nice try on the shield grab. That would have worked if you were faster.
Oh, good. My intuition's not wrong.
No, shield grabbing is just hard on jabs. Okay, you grabbed edge. Nice. Some needles. Not amazing on the down tilts, right?
No.
But at least you know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not that good to do. Like the jab,
I
jab.
like, dude, I like don't know what to do with that low percent situation where it's like he just respawned.
I mean, you just run away.
Yeah, that's the thing is I'm like, am I supposed to just run away? It feels
Yeah,
like
you just run away.
so
You
not
go to the
interactive.
platform. Yeah, like you could have jumped to the side platform, held your shield dropped.
Right.
I like the grab.
I didn't do the check taste properly, but
Yeah, especially like there's no reason to wave dash to the like at the end. Like that just slows you down.
I know it's like I got it right and then I just second guessed it right at the end.
Yeah, but like the wave dash literally doesn't do anything. It just makes it hard to detect.
Right.
That was a great back air. That grab was very strange off the nair.
Ooh,
Any
played
thoughts
again.
on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I must have just not read like his position correctly.
So you probably didn't realize the nair was going to hit him.
Yeah, that's very possible too.
But you should have realized it because you could have seen him dash and jump after the laser. But only if you were paying super close attention.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Like I know how to punish it based on the way he went.
Yes.
But yeah.
And then that back air you went for would have worked if you reacted way faster, but it would have been a pretty tough reaction.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe what would have been something like easier to do?
Well, he landed right next to me, and it didn't seem like he was going to land any closer into me. So probably like an F tilt.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just turn around and F tilted instead of trying to full hop back air, that would have been easier to do and also very good.
Right.
Small note, like when you jab there, like there's no reason to do a second jab. The first jab already accomplished its purpose. If that makes sense. So I think a lot of the times in the jab tilt stuff, you're kind of autopiloting, but it's like one jab is going to hit him out of what he's doing, and then you can take advantage of that. Oh, crazy.
Oh, it hurts me. That was not bad though.
Okay. Not an amazing down smash.
No.
Good forward tilt there. We might have to ban you from using down smash for a while.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, so that recovery not so amazing. So the problem with it is like you up B so high that you don't give yourself any meaningful variation where you'll go. So it's like if he was good, he would just back air you and you just die.
Right.
You'd rather probably fall a little bit lower and be trickier with like where you go with your up B close to the edge.
Okay.
Like if you watch high level Sheiks, you'd never see a high level Sheik recover like that.
Right.
Oh, you didn't back air him on the side B. I don't know if that makes intuitive sense or not, but like you could have just hit him.
I could have, yes.
Yep. Oh, nice try.
I don't think I was looking at him.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's God, another forward tilt to dash that didn't go exactly how it was supposed to. Look at this.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I just walked.
And then you just down smash anyway.
Yeah.
And then you try to force this dash attack. And every time you get him in the air, you struggle a lot. So let's talk about this. So when you get he tries to shine you and you double jump out. If you had thrown out a back air, he would have actually jumped into it. Is that clear?
I see it. I see it, but I don't think I knew that I could back air there.
You need to think about how to defend yourself. Because throwing out the back air isn't really a commitment any more so than just falling towards the top platform. But it at least protects you if he jumps towards you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
See, yeah, I was under the impression that throwing out a move was much riskier than not throwing out a move.
Well, it depends. So throwing out a move, if you're falling from really high up, like takes away maybe your air dodge option. And if you're falling right on top of them, sure. But Falco was completely to the side of you, and he couldn't reach you without jumping.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like if you threw out the back air, was there any way for him to beat it that wouldn't also just beat you not back airing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so that's a good example of, like, you know, if you watch some VODs, pay close attention to what happens when a SHEIK gets hit in the air. Like, watch, like, Plup play, like, a really bad Falco or something. Like, somebody who's just going to force stop. Or, like, watch Swedish fight someone. And watch what happens when the Falco lands a shine. And I think you'll see the SHEIKs do very different things.
Okay.
And then here, when you get back aired, you tried to needle while falling. And again, that stopped you from fast falling. But if you fast fell, especially with, like, a fair or something, you could have maybe touched the platform and got your shield up in time.
Oh, yeah, I think I would have been safe at that air right there.
So, like, literally, you played amazing, and then you just YOLO dash attack, probably because it's like you mess up your sequence, so you threw out a down smash for no reason, YOLO dash attack, and then it did a terrible job coming down. But everything before it, you played great. So I think that, like, fixing these things is actually going to be a big deal. Nice drift on your up B, by the way, even though that down air was not great. Did you see the drift on your up B?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But actually, did you?
I know how to do that.
But did you see that you actually fell for a long time before up Bing?
Yeah.
So what could you have done to optimize that? Because you were still just like, yeah. So if you were brave enough, you could have fast fallen right at the end of the down air, because you would have known, like, oh shit, I'm screwed anyway. So you could have fast fallen a bit to give yourself the perfect up B space. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see it.
So I guess, like,
I've never played with fast falling there. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So you see how that's what I was saying earlier, right?
Yeah.
So looking at this match, I think you vastly improved on a lot of the things we talked about. But then so many of the things are still like, let's see, you didn't know where your moves would send him a lot of the times, right?
Right.
We saw that happen multiple times. Like, you up smash, you didn't know how to combo. You jab, you didn't know what to do afterwards. We saw really bad defense. We saw when something went wrong, you would, like, kind of freak out. And remember what we said, one of the notes was, if your first decision doesn't work, you still have to think ahead.
Right.
And I think this match highlighted that a lot. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, you can see how things would fall apart as soon as something went wrong, right?
Yeah.
But I would say when things weren't going wrong, everything looked pretty good for you. And I think you improved a lot in that.
Okay.
What does Blackout say? Sorry, I just saw this. Blackout, if you want to elaborate on that.
I am recording, if that's what he's talking about.
No, he said, could this concept you're speaking of be referred to as not respecting? I'm sure he'll elaborate. But anyway, so, like, watching this whole match through and looking back at the notes, I want to see what we think. So I feel like you reacted better. You back-aired in good spots, or at least attempted to, even when it didn't work. So that's something you might still have to practice. Your movement sequences were better. I feel like you dealt with lasers better, but you still struggled with them a little bit. So I would like you to, like, I still think you held shield for no reason a lot of the time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny. I actually played a match recently. I said to myself, literally, don't shield. And,
well, don't shield after the laser. You can shield before.
You were talking about just in the lasers.
Like, do you see what I mean? Like, you can shield before the laser so that you can wave dash out of shield or full hop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've talked about that. But don't
we talked about that.
Don't forward tilt, get hit by a laser, and then just sit there holding shield till he gets there.
Right.
So let's watch this match in real time and just talk about, like, what actually went wrong. So I tried to point out the major things, but I want to watch it again. But I think you did a good job improving a lot of the stuff we talked about. Okay, so you messed up the fair, right? Like, we talked about that. Right. And then you're going to come down poorly. Like, that air dodge was pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think would have been better than air dodging down towards him?
I could back air there.
You could back air. That probably would lose the up soldier trade, though.
I could double jump out.
Yeah, double jump. Why not double jump to the left?
Yeah, to the top platform.
Exactly. So, and then here you double jumped out but fell with the needle. So one of the
Okay.
biggest things that's gone wrong was just you messing up the what's it called? The defense once you get airborne.
Okay.
So we're gonna write that one down. That's a huge one.
Yeah.
Defense once you're sent airborne. Okay, and then we saw the recovery. You messed up because of the hit lag of actually hitting him.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that happening to SHEIK sometimes?
Yeah, I am.
It's pretty annoying, but maybe
It is very annoying.
you could practice that. Just set a
Yeah.
computer to stand still at the ledge and just make sure you can hit them and still grab the ledge.
That's a very good point.
Very easy to practice, would take you 2 minutes, and then you would never mess it up again.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at this. This is all great. And then you didn't quite get the edge guard because you did kind of a wasted action, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say that's a good example of the first thing you did didn't work, so then you didn't know what to do.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
It's like when everything's together, it always works for you. And then as soon as it's not, you're like, ah, shit, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to watch you play this situation. I love that back air. I love this. And then we talked about how there you should have gone to the left, right, or up tilted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We talked about that. I like the roll. But then you kind of just stood there and got hit.
Yeah, I just didn't do much.
Like, so this was all pretty bad, right? Like, you just stood there and got hit. And then you're like, shit, I'm going to roll. And then you started jab down smashing. But then you got back to things. It just took you like a full second or so to get your bearings. And then you played it really well. So then you dropped the combo. So I think you need to just learn where your moves send people more. I think we might have talked about that against Marth that one time, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I mean, just in general, it's something it's easy to see when I'm watching my own VODs. If I see something and I don't get it, I think about why. So it's not, sometimes we talk about things and it's like, I had no idea. Especially with like some of these defense options, I'm just not familiar with when I can actually jump out, or I can do a move. But like, just if I hit something and then I don't get the follow up, then I'm able to very clearly see that without structured guidance. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think. Do you remember when we talked about how like if you just try a character for like 5 minutes a day, you'll learn a lot about how they work?
Yeah, of course.
So I think very similarly, if you just look at your moves hitting Falco at a couple different percents for 5 minutes a day, you'll improve that very quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, what would be useful is, again, ding, 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 if you just watch some VODs, just coincidentally, anytime, you're watching play, you see a forward tilt hit a Falco at 50, just consciously think about where it hit him.
Okay.
Much like the recovery thing. It doesn't have to be something but it doesn't have to be the primary purpose. It can just be something you acquire over time.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, it's a skill I'm doing more, or it's a skill I'm building more and more when I watch, when I watch professional Melee, for sure. I will do it.
Okay. I'm going to write that. And then I think we notice again, so you mess this up, and then you just try to jab down smash to fix it, right? Funnily enough, had you not jabbed, I think you actually could have maybe gotten a follow-up. Like, I think your dash attack actually recovered fast enough that you might have been able to forward tilt him.
I think you're right.
Or even down smash him,
Yeah.
And then you're stuck in the air. You recover, but then you mess up the ledge game. Recover again, kind of not amazing, but it was okay, actually. Then you do the positioning thing we talked about where you jump into Falco. And then here's the recovery thing where you could have gone for edge. So let's keep watching what else goes wrong. So you misjudged the slide off. So that's knowing where your moves hit people, right? Again, you had a weird situation with the clank, so you just start jabbing. This one wasn't a terrible idea.
There.
I personally would have held shield.
Oh, interesting.
Or dashed back, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think the Falcon actually acted pretty slowly. Had he acted quickly, he would have hit you first.
Do you say hold shield so you can just get like a grab?
Well, just like, I think it's Falco's turn, so to speak.
Oh,
Like, I think
yes,
he
I
recovered
understand.
faster than you did. Or you guys,
Yeah,
it was pretty close. It was pretty close. I might have just dashed back or held shield, though. I don't feel like I would have been aggressive.
yeah. It's too
Um,
tough.
and
Too
jabbing
costly.
wasn't bad, but I just want to point out that you did it as a habit, probably.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Jab to the
Um,
habit because I just did 2 jabs.
So, um, you got hit there. I think, funnily enough, had you come down with a back air, it might have actually hit him. He might have jumped into it by accident.
Oh, that's very possible.
It's possible, right?
Yeah.
So let's keep watching. So again, once you're in the air, things don't go well. So you hit him here, you grab the edge, which I'm happy about. So I think on the running away on the respawn, you should go to platforms like right when he gets there. Because think of it this way: Falco has to chase you all the way there, and then right when he gets to you, you can jump away from him,
Right.
like on
Oh,
reaction.
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So okay, so we're gonna watch what happens here. So respawn doesn't go amazing. You end up in the corner, and then it's kind of awkward. You roll, you jab, you throw out some moves. Pretty good grab though. So weird tech chase option, so we want to fix that. Pretty good nair out of shield. Great back air. This all looks good. Didn't know your nair follow up. Did a really weird rising fair. Misjudged that, and now you're just gonna start getting hit a bunch. And now that like you start getting hit, it like added up pretty quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, you were doing fine. Nothing bad was happening. And then suddenly, I feel like you didn't hold shield on the platform when it probably would have been reasonable to.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like after the first back air?
Yeah, it makes sense to hold shield there.
Yeah. So just hold shield. But instead you didn't. You get hit. You try to throw out jab, dash attack. You get hit again. Then you don't have a good out of shield game. And now you're just getting hit a ton. So like, you know, half of the damage you took the stock was literally just from that little misunderstanding. But then into you trying to like fix it almost. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we saw take laser, hold shield twice there, right?
Yeah.
So watch this. You got lasered out of it. Forward tilt, you just held shield. Because you don't need to shield until the next laser gets there, right?
Don't need
Does
to
that make
shield
sense?
until enough.
So there's only two reasons you would need to shield. One, if he's in range to do an aerial, you might need to shield right after the laser, right? But Falco was like halfway across the stage.
Right.
So if he's going to do an aerial, you don't need to shield until he gets there. You can move or do something, right?
I've never thought about it that way.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like the only reason to shield is if he's in range to hit you with an aerial, or if he's going to shoot another laser. But if he's going to shoot another laser, you don't have to shield until the next laser gets there, and then you can attempt to power shield, which is what we've talked about before.
Oh, interesting.
So remember,
Okay.
that's why I told you a long time ago, you never want to take laser shield.
Mm-hmm.
But either shield
Right.
the laser or take the laser and do something.
Right. Right.
Okay.
I just
So
didn't think about afterward. That's weird.
So you know, you do that, and then you see how he gets in for free because you know, you did take laser shield, and then look how easily he gets in. He just kind of nairs across the stage, right?
Right.
But
Right.
he didn't really do much to earn that.
No.
Mess up some shield drops. You said you've worked on them though, so I trust that they will keep getting better.
Yeah, it's like they're elusive.
Bad down smash. Okay, let's see how well you avoided him on the respawn there.
Right. Yeah.
That looks much better. I love all of that. And then I love the runaway. I love the shield drop back air. That was all great. But your execution on the bear wasn't very good. So had it been better, you see how the Falco kind of got confused when he got hit and he kind of just sat there? So watch this.
Mm-hmm.
He sat there for a second and then shined, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
and
if
I
you were
was
fast, you could have just turned around and grabbed him because he like wasn't ready. And then even if he was ready, you could have like dash danced and then baited it and then grabbed it, you know?
Right.
So you see how you almost had it all perfect, like, but the execution wasn't quite there.
Yeah, I was being overly cautious too.
Yep. So I think again, execution is something you need to keep grinding, but I like the ideas. I think you missed your fastball because you actually hit him. You probably did a fastball timing assuming he wasn't there. Does that make sense?
I can see that being the case.
Like
yeah.
you need to actually delay. Either you need to fastball before your aerial comes out, or you need to fastball after it hits Falco.
Right.
So you messing up execution cost you, but you played this really well.
Okay.
Again, kind of weird out of shield game, so maybe you need to think about it. I think you need to think about the out of shields. Bad recovery. Okay, I like the roll away. I like the movement. Don't like the jabs much.
Yeah.
And jab isn't always bad, but you know, sometimes. So this is all good. Did you see how you tried to follow up on that bear with a grab?
Yeah.
Look how far the bear sent him, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't know.
Yep, you just didn't know how far your move would send, right?
Right.
So this is what we're talking about. Even something like weak back air, you need to check how far it sends. So I don't think that jab was bad at all. I like the forward tilt. I don't like the down smash there, right? And then you just start getting hit again. So do you see the trend?
Yeah, I do.
It's like it all looks good, and then you mess up the fair, and you're like down smash, and then you try to drop down, you get back aired, and that's not really a good position to fall on Falco, right? And that has to do with what we said about the autopilot drop down fairs. It's like Falco's below you, don't like drop down on top of him. And then there's the bad defense in the air, right?
Yeah.
Where you could have bared him, right? Is it clear when you watch it now that you could have bared him before he bared you?
Yes.
And then
it was the first time.
Yep. Then you did Flying Needle. Then you could have fast fallen there and you didn't. Cool. So I'm gonna write down.
That feels well summarized.
Yep. Something goes wrong. I don't know why I typed panic with a K. All right, there we go. Cool.
Yeah.
So now that we've watched it with that perspective, A, do you feel like you've improved? B, do you feel like you see what's going wrong?
Yeah, I do.
Wonderful.
And I think it mirrors, I think it puts into language the feelings of that I've had as to what's been correct. That I haven't just been able to, I just haven't put the work into sussing out. So yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm happy to hear it. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up then. So work hard. This includes looking at what we talked about before and still working on it until you don't mess it up anymore. And then I'd say these, you know, how many things did we write? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I feel like that's all doable before next time.
Yes. If you recall, I'm
yeah, you're gonna be gone for a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone until like basically the end of July.
When do you leave?
I leave tomorrow.
Okay, you leave tomorrow. You come back like the 20 something.
24th, yeah.
And then
so I will have.
So you won't be able to work on it. Will you be able to watch VODs?
I think I'll be able to watch VODs. I think that would be a possibility. I think I will do my best to in the downtime that I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have to watch a ton. Like, do you think you could watch 30 minutes a day?
I think that would be tough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm basically working like I'm basically like I will probably almost always have something to do.
Damn.
Yeah. So I think at the very least I could watch 10 minutes a day.
Okay. 10
and
minutes
I'll
is
start
pretty good.
there and see if I can make more.
Okay.
You know, it's not something that I don't think will be super difficult to do like at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, just at the end of the day before you go to bed.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely a possibility.
Yeah.
And that was what I wanted to try to do in the absence of actual practice.
Yeah, I mean, if you were really, really serious, it's like, go to bed, do it 10 minutes before bed and then wake up 10 minutes earlier in the morning. You've already doubled your watch time.
It's very possible I could do that
You know
too.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as busy as you could be, it's like wake up 10 minutes earlier,
Mm-hmm.
if you really, really want to make time with it. Because I think a lot of these problems can be fixed purely through watching VODs and keeping this list of things we have in mind.
Okay.
Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm going to try to push you then, because even if you're busy, even if there's no melee, if you want to do it badly enough, you'll do it, and I think it'll make the difference. When I was like 14, it was like the year I learned melee, like 13 or 14. We went to Syria that summer, and I was gonna have no internet, no GameCube, nothing. And before I left, I downloaded Shine Blind onto like a USB drive so that I would have melee to watch. And I just studied it to learn like how combos worked. And I watched it like 20 times that summer.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was like I was just a kid, I was just like, I might as well do something.
Right.
But when I got back, it's like I was more familiar with how things worked. And it was like a shitty video, obviously. It's not like I learned that much. But like I think with the resources you have nowadays, between being able to ask me questions, watching the videos, and you already have notes, right? So it's not like you don't know what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this could be very directed. And if between now and the 24th, you've watched, so how many days is that? 18 days? 10 minutes a day. That's 3 hours of footage watched.
It's true.
So, if you, let's say, watch an hour and a half of footage and think about it for an hour and a half. Like, split it up 50-50, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And
do you think there should be...
What's up?
I was going to say, what do you think the ratio of my own footage to not my own footage should be?
I don't think it really matters as long as you're thinking about it.
Okay.
Because what I want you to do is, remember, primary purpose, thinking of solutions quickly. And then the secondary purpose is noticing the little things that you would otherwise need a GameCube to practice.
Okay.
It's like you don't need a GameCube to practice seeing how far Falco gets hit if you just see Plop hitting a Falco.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Don't need to... Yes. Yeah.
So VODs are a good practice replacement for a lot of the issues you have.
Okay.
Because a lot of it is just knowing things or noticing things, and it's not like actual execution.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
That's very true. Yeah, that's very true.
Cool.
Okay.
So I have no doubt that you can make good use of this time. And if you come back able to think of solutions quickly, and you come back knowing how to recover better and how far your moves send different characters, I think you'll be in, like, even just 2 or 3 sessions and a little bit of practicing, you'll see the improvement that you need to see.
Okay.
And also, another thing in the vaults, why not internalize defensive habits when they go airborne, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I'm going to write that, here. Defense once you're sent airborne. So it's things like that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Okay. I'll have a fun trip. I'm sure you'll be busy, but
Thanks.
Try your best on this stuff and, keep me updated.
I will. Yeah.
What?
I have a lesson scheduled for the end of the month, and there's time in between when I'm back and when that lesson is. So hopefully I'll have
the lesson?
It's on like I think it's like on the 30th.
Yeah, it is on the 30th. Perfect. So that gives you, like, if you practice, 3 of those 5 days and you play some friendlies and you work on what we talked about, I have no doubt that like we can see a difference.
Okay.
So work hard and we'll talk then.
Thanks, Sammy. Talk to you then.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right. See ya.
Bye.